Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now today's video essay is going to be a very juicy one, okay? Originally I was just going to center this around the Meg the Stallion and Klay Thompson situation, but so much time has gone by. I really haven't been on my Zoom the way that I need to be, guys. I really apologize. Honestly, I need to make sure that I'm more snappy with these video essays right when the inspiration hits me. But it was actually great that I left some time between like the whole situation that kicked off. If you guys don't know, Meg the Stallion, a humongously famously talented rapper, she had a very public breakup with her boyfriend, and there has been a lot of discourse online surrounding that situation. Obviously, people feel very, I want to say maternal. People feel very maternal towards Meg the Stallion. She is an incredible woman. She's so talented, so young for the age that she is, the amount of adversity she's been able to overcome, the amount of obstacles that have been put in her way. She's obviously had a very traumatic situation happen to her, losing her mother, losing her aunt, losing her father, losing her grandmother. So she's lost her immediate family. And then on top of that, she was in a very predatory record deal that she had to, just go and jump through so many hurdles and jumped through so many hoops to get out of. And now finally coming into her own. Obviously, we know the whole situation with the evil leprechaun Tory Lanez, and just the public humiliation ritual that she's been going through. And of course, people's internalized misogyny really jumps out, particularly when it comes to Meg the Stallion. I've noticed. I'm so sorry about the construction work, guys. I'm hoping my mic dries out. But yeah, it's really, really difficult when being a fan of Meg the Stallion, and it's so annoying, all of these critics and detractors who are just confused fans. Like, the jealousy is so palpable, it is insane. Like, Meg the Stallion is just an incredible woman of her own right. And of course, the latest thing that's gone on, despite her going through all of these things, like I said, now the public fallout afterwards, you've got crazy individuals like DJ Academics who needs to go on www.indeed.com and find himself a job. Okay, put down the microphone, please. Like, we need to increase the price of talking, and just always going after her and all of these annoying things. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so the recent thing, not only has she just like gone through all of that in public, people accusing her of lying, people saying all this awful, horrible stuff, even though she had been assaulted in one of the worst ways possible. Trigger warning, if you guys, sorry, trigger warning, I didn't do a trigger warning, but everything that she went through in public. And then now we see the situation now going on with Klay Thompson, and just how nefarious it was. And I said this in my last video too. It's just like, you can never really put anything past anyone. Like, really, everybody thought that Klay Thompson was going to be, a good guy for her. Like, finally she was going to get her happiness, because Miss Meg, she is a lover girl, okay? She is just, one thing about Meg the Stallion, she is just a friendly girl, friendly, happy-go-lucky girl. So obviously, I always felt like she was a lover girl. Like, and people really like, again, it's just like, it just speaks to how juvenile people are. Like, her music is a persona. It's a persona. Like, obviously not. Like, when people say, oh, her music is this, his music is that, and she's talking about like, my man, my man, my man. It's like, guys, you do know, like, this is a persona to cash a check. Like, it's not even that, like, that's what stars are. So, like, how Beyonce has Sasha Fierce. Like, it's so ridiculous to me. Like, again, I feel like people reach for the stars when it comes to misaligning Meg the Stallion, or just like purposefully trying to misunderstand her. And I think that that's why she really is, like, I feel like, for me personally, Meg the Stallion, I'll put Meghan Markle in there. Who else do I put in there? That's like my litmus test for like whether or not I'm going to get on with someone. I put Amber Heard in there, definitely. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't F with you. Like, if you have like this sort of irrational hatred towards any of the women that I mentioned, like, yeah, me and you, we're not boys. Like, we're not boys. Like, you're actually scary. And so, yeah, I just feel like Meg the Stallion elicits this feeling, this intense rage in people that I cannot like I genuinely cannot put down to anything else other than internalized misogyny. Like, and somebody put it great, like you'll have a very weird group of people online that like hate watch Meg the Stallion. It's like you're a confused fan, because what Meg the Stallion represents is what I think people find so offensive.
There's a weird group of who hate Megan Thee Stallion, right? Like delight in her suffering. And I guarantee you that they don't even understand why they hate Megan Thee Stallion so much. And let me tell you why they do. It's because Megan Thee Stallion represents the end of the patriarchy, right? She's not the only one that represents that. And let's be clear, the patriarchy is coming to an end. But they hate her because they don't want to have to compete on an even playing field. It's the same reason that some white people hate DEI, because if you even the playing field, then you have to compete based on your competencies, right? And if you have to compete on your competencies, on your ability, on your talent, on your skill, then you're going to get washed by a lot of other people. So you need a system that gives you an unfair advantage. And I can hear a lot of y'all now saying, bro, it's not that deep, but it is. And that's the problem. Y'all don't understand your own feelings and emotions, right? You don't even understand where this hate is coming from. And if you can't understand your own feelings and emotions, right, you don't have the emotional intelligence to identify what's going on in yourself. You don't have the emotional or any other intelligence enough to compete in a modern day marketplace, right? And that's what's going to get a lot of you guys washed. That's why a lot of you is falling behind now. Because the only thing that ever propped up the patriarchy in the first place is men's physical ability to do certain things, right? And now that it doesn't even matter, y'all are lost. And unfortunately, a lot of y'all are opting out of what propped up the patriarchy in the first place, which is your physical abilities, because some just don't even want to change a tire. So I don't know what to tell you, but this weird Megan Thee Stallion hate club needs to be dismantled ASAP.
The only reason I even made this video like this was because in Megan's documentary, she had said something along the lines of when her mom got extreme headaches, she ended up taking her to the hospital, and at the hospital, they found out her mom had a brain tumor. And she had to get surgery there. Like, no, you can't leave. You're going to die if we don't take care of this, right? I went through the exact same thing with my mother with cancer. I took her to the hospital. She kept sitting in bed, and she just couldn't keep getting up. Mind you, she already had breast cancer. And I took her to the hospital, and we got a screening, and we was walking somewhere else in the hospital. And then they gave her a notification on her phone, and she panicked. She was like, yo, we need to go back over here right now. And we went over there. She had 2 brain tumors in January of 2025. She literally, like, and no, she couldn't leave. She had to get brain surgery that day. Otherwise, we didn't know how long it would continue to mess with her. Like, she had to get brain surgery at that exact same time. I don't feel like it's parasocial to talk about and relate to a person, although they are famous, to an exact damn near close situation that you've gone through, and you also lost your mother due to cancer even after that surgery. Just was me though. Like, God forbid that those people are human and you go through the exact same thing. Not saying I'm outside doing a whole bunch of stuff, but like, just because she's written, mind you, she's an independent artist. She's not signed to a label like a lot of the other people. So she's done a lot more of these things by herself. Sorry, my cat being bad. I had to give her the pats of doom real fast. But yeah, just because you have been through something, or just because a famous person has gone through something, does not mean that like those things can't happen to you. They are still flesh. They are still allergic to bullets. They still bleed red just the same as I do. Not saying I am parasocial about every little thing, because you go through my channel. Am I posting about celebrities? No. I almost never post about celebrities. Now, I will bash Nicki for doing something every once in a while. I will bash Chris Brown because he hits people, and I bash a lot of his followers because the only reason they like him is because they haven't been hit yet. And a lot of people agree with me on that. But as soon as I talk about and empathize with a woman that isn't somebody you like, people lose their mind.
By negative numbers. Let's go to hell. Stop.
And they want to jump through loops, try to say she's disingenuous, she's this, she's that. It's like lyrics and, you know, her persona is one thing. Like, who is it? Tina Snow. Yeah, that's what I was like. Tina Snow. Like, that's one thing. but then trying to conflate her, like her personal life outside of her stage persona, and say, look, she's fake, she's this, she's that. Like, you're a ridiculous person. And honestly, like, I feel like we need to get more comfortable telling people how ridiculous they are. Like, okay, you don't have to be Meg the Stallion's #1 fan. Like, I get it. But like, just this irrational hatred, like, sit with that. Where does that come from? Where does that come from, bestie? Where does that actually come from? So yeah, I just feel like Meg the Stallion is a great litmus test for me in my life. Like, by the way, this has never failed me. Yeah, this litmus test has never ever failed me. Going back to the topic of the video, the way that we are collectively being stripped of our empathy is something that is just, it is honestly like, studies need to be done on this. Like, it's just something so sinister about seeing a woman, an independent woman, right? A woman who's truly out here on her own, fighting battles that are like so daunting, even if it was like one individual thing. But she has all of these back to back to back to back. It is just so insane to me. And people say, oh, holy parasocial, like you're so parasocial. What's parasocial about having empathy from somebody that we know has been through it, okay? Been through the ringer. Like, these are the same people who have never ever experienced grief. Like, imagine losing your mom, your dad, and your grandma at such a sensitive age in your life, like such a sensitive time. Then on top of that, going through fame, like being catapulted into fame, because Meg the Stallion is so talented and so gorgeous, right? Just being catapulted into fame and not having that sense of stability and constancy in your life. And then on top of that, you know, Meg the Stallion is a friendly girl. This is one thing that I just like wish somebody could just like shake her and say, like, she is a friendly babe. Like, she had so much clout. I remember when the Panasonic was going on, the panoramic, if you know, I don't want to say the actual word because YouTube is very sensitive with the censorship and stuff. But like, when the panoramic was going on and she'd be on her lives with Tory Lanez and all of these things, and like, she was just so friendly. Like, you could just tell she's just such a friendly girl. And like, we have all experienced that. This is why the Meg Thee Stallion hate really mystifies me as a woman. Like, how can you not see, like, when we've all experienced this, when you've been so friendly with somebody, whether it be a man or a woman, been so friendly, so open, and like, they just completely take advantage of that. And it really can turn even the softest heart stone cold. Like, it's just so sad to me. It's like, I've seen this happen to me, to so many other people, time and time again. Like, we can all relate to that. And then just this, when people know that you're friendly, they just associate you with being a soft touch. And like, the whole situation that kicked off with Tory Lanez in the car and everything, it's like, it's so obvious what happened. And even, because I'm not a history revisionist, I was there. I remember everything that happened. And like, even in the beginning, what a pure heart Meg is. She even said, like, I don't want anything bad to happen. That's why I kept it to myself. That's why I lied for him. And that is 100% plausible. We know the issues with police brutality. We know like how the police are itching to rough you up, especially when they see that you are, come on, like, and for that evil leprechaun, right? That evil Canadian leprechaun, talentless idiot, to then take advantage of that whole situation. You've got absolute idiots like Selena Powell, like talking ish about Meg, that like, girl, shut up. Like, you know what I mean? So again, I just find it astonishing, in particular, people who want to say holy parasocial to a woman who's been through trial by fire in the public eye, in the worst way. In the worst way possible, trying to protect somebody who's done nothing but cause you objective harm. And I think subconsciously in Meg Thee Stallion's mind, she knew where this was going to go. Like, it's only ever going to go this way. The way people do top tier reaching, when some tragedy befalls you as a woman, top tier reaching to make it your fault. Like, it's just so disgusting to me. And it's like, I can expect that from men, but like, seeing women jump on that hate train, guys, like, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And I just wish people would interrogate their internalized misogyny, but I know that's a lot to ask, isn't it? Like, it seems like that's a lot to ask. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this collective empathy that we are just being stripped of. Like, so we can't have empathy for someone, like I said, who's been through trial by fire in the public eye in the worst possible way. Or is it that you just hate what she represents? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like you guys are not slick. Like it's disgusting to me. So I wanted to talk about this phenomenon. Like I've been seeing this pop up time and time and time again. Like holy parasocial. This is so parasocial. This is so parasocial. Like I fear you guys maybe sometimes on social media learn one term and completely bastardize it. It's like you could set a timer. The clock is literally on. Like the timer's gone on, and it's like it's such a quick race to the bottom of how you can bastardize these terms. Like it's a joke to me. Like what do you mean holy parasocial? What does that mean? What does that mean? Are you describing just normal human emotion towards seeing somebody in distress, or something that we can all relate to, like especially with the whole Clay Thompson situation? I think there's just something, especially after the pandemic, people just have, and of course, the pandemic, the way the job market is right now, the economic crises that that are going on, the fact that prices have just risen and not gone down, like, and they're only going up. Now you see the whole situation going on now, even with Spirit Airlines. Like, how crazy. We are just living in a time where there is no such thing as job security. There is no such thing as like constancy and stability unless you are part of like the elite classes. It's really that deep. It's really, really that deep. Things that used to be a sure thing, like even things like specific fields of study that used to be a sure thing, are no longer a sure thing. Nurses can't find jobs. I don't know how it is where you guys are, but in the UK, nurses can't find jobs. Like, imagine nurses, the one thing that we truly need, they can't find jobs. People who do like really complex degrees, like what do you call it? What do you call it? Software engineering, all of this stuff can't find jobs. Like entry level positions are requiring years and years of experience. You go on Indeed.com. This is for you, James Charles, by the way. I hope you're listening. Not that he gives a shit, but like, you go on Indeed.com and they are just data farming, like all these ghost postings. It is so humiliating. Youth unemployment is at an all-time high collectively all over the world. People are without hope. People are without any sort of ambition or drive. Like, and again, just even feeling like things are going to get better. Where is the data to suggest that things are going to get better? It can be so easy to be in this negative shame spiral where you're just like, what is the point of anything? So it's just super, super sad to me to see. I feel like maybe this is a way that people subconsciously are anesthetizing themselves by seeing like these big giant celebrities also going through the ringer. And like this whole ethos of, oh, I don't owe anybody anything, I don't owe anyone my empathy, I don't owe anybody anything, like she's rich, she's gonna be all right, like things like that. It's just, I feel there is this concerted effort to strip us of our empathy, to strip us of our human emotion, this connectedness that we have.
There's something so frightening about seeing all these Netanyahu and Epstein memes. Like, everybody today is so robotic. Everybody's so stripped of their humanity and dissociated from reality. This phone in black magic, man. It was only a couple of decades ago when if a couple of people died in an accident, it was all over the news. Now there's stories about these massive child trafficking rings, genocides, surveillance states being built right in front of our eyes publicly for everybody to see. We just joke about it. We just are totally divorced from like, oh, this is actual reality. Everybody is totally immobilized by social media and by the internet. It is terrifying. All of our wants and passions and emotions have been reduced to information on a screen, readily available whenever we want. Just everything about how we live our life is so divorced from the nature of how we're built to live. And I'm talking about this solely from a internet consumption perspective. Like, I don't think we're taking this seriously enough. I don't think we really understand what the long-term effects of playing video games every day or of being on social media every day really are. We're looking to supplements, dieting, working out, all these different things. You know, there are real problems with politics going on right now. We do live in a shit system. But more than that, the biggest pressing issue of what's wrong with today's society is this disconnection everybody has. Everybody just lives in their mind with no grounding to actual reality. Everything is just information and absurdity. We have this godlike access to information and perspectives, but we still have this very human emotional system that cannot process all of this, that cannot handle it. Like, I always think about our circadian rhythm and the fact that sleep consistency is more important than sleep duration. Something as simple as seeing the sun come up and go down is so ingrained into our biology. How could we not think the same of ordinary experience and what we're meant to see on a day-to-day basis, what we're meant to feel on a day-to-day basis. But simultaneously, I mean, the system hijacks our reward circuit so well. It makes us feel so accomplished. It's addicting. I think a lot of people are aware of this. They just don't get it. They're actually pretty comfortable living like this, so they'll just construct an entire worldview around why it's okay.
Intrinsically, as human beings, it's super, super scary. And I just see this on the rise everywhere. Like, first thing, like when someone comes online, like the first thing they'll say, oh, you're privileged, you're this, you're that. And actually, even speaking about the James Charles situation, I found it very interesting on one of his apology videos. He weaponized these terms.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's the GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job. Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you? You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God, welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I help you? Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need the GoFundMe? I can at least 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed, doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off, okay? I'm not the one. Go find Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally going to be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees, and it's going to be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies. Go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. You lost your job? Oh. What are we gonna do? Nothing! I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
Tell me you have never had to look for a job in your entire life. Someone DMing you because they lost their job and are in a financial state of desperation is not because they're lazy. It's because the job market is that bad and you are that out of touch. This is the worst job market we have seen by statistics since 2008. Unemployment is at an all-time high, as are layoffs. To top it all off, job creation is down. You are out of time. Embarrassing. Disgusting.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's the GoFundMe link. Any donations help." I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
Jobless behavior, by the way. On his part, very jobless behavior on James Charles' part. James and I are considered peers. I'm a content creator. He's a content creator. I'm a founder. He is a founder. We are technically considered peers. I normally like to mind my business. I don't like to come after other creators. This is probably one of the I thought this was fake. Is this fake? I don't think James has ever had a real job. I don't think he's ever had a job that isn't social media, that isn't an independent contractor. I don't think he's ever clocked in. I don't think he's ever had a W-2. I don't think he's ever done any of that. The way you're talking to this person shows, and it's very disgusting and it's very inappropriate.
You could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help?
James Charles, in 2026, the job market right now is the worst that it's ever been. And as bad as I envisioned this video being, as I kept watching it, it just got worse because what do you mean you're lazy?
And you think that I'm gonna send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God, welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs.
I understand not wanting to be a bank. I understand not wanting to be treated like a disposable source of income all the time. I understand that. I get it. But not responding was also an option. A very respectable and easy option. You simply could have just not responded. It's the fact that you turn on your camera, you recorded this, seemingly sober, question mark, and you posted it. For what? You thought we was gonna be on your side? Absolutely not. What's particularly annoying about this is that I know ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm not saying that I want something to happen to you, but all I'm saying is as a white man, you can turn on your camera, talk absolutely crazy out the side of your neck, and it's going to warrant zero consequences for you, much like many other things. I don't know what the hell inspired this post, but that was absolutely a terrible take.
Piss me off, okay? I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. He's like, go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. What are we gonna do? Nothing!
I just feel like to never have to have entered the workplace yourself and to say something like this takes an insane amount of privilege. It's just literally oozing from this video, from his damn flat top. I'm confused. I'm confused what you thought we was gonna get from that. That was absolutely terrible and you really should have kept it. It's honestly very rare that I respond to other influencer scandals or when they get dragged. Like, it has to be something that directly affects me. I feel like I caught a stray because what in the world was that? And I think I also just have a problem. Like right now we have a gender pay gap. We have a race pay gap. I've literally been dragged for much less. It begs the question, like, how comfortable do you have to be to get to that point to where you just are saying it with your chest? I think this was disgusting. You may need to clear that GoFundMe just for what you did. I'm sorry. I've lived through every era of the beauty industry. Literally every era. The worst of the worst. That's probably one of the worst things I've ever seen an influencer say willingly on camera. Also, I have to say this. We've been down this road before. When other influencers mess up in the public eye, do not tag me in these scandals and expect me to respond to everybody. I'm absolutely not. I am not the beauty community school principal. This one really pissed me off. This will definitely not become a pattern. I'm sorry, I just had to say something.
Influencers' lives are funded by their followers, and it always astounds me when influencers make it really big and they get so out of touch that they actually start to have a disdain for the average person. And I'm talking about that James Charles video because in my case, when I started out, I was a cunt. Can I say that on TikTok? I don't know. I still kind of am, right? I'm never going to lose that quality about myself. I'm sorry, it's just not going away. But as my platforms have grown and like the fact that thousands of people are paying our YouTube channel $7 a month and just funding me to make content for them, it's forced me to become more humble because I just look at my life and I'm like, I don't deserve this. So when influencers do the opposite, I can't really wrap my head around it. Now, granted, a lot of people have audacity. I get messages asking for money too, and I have like 1% of what James Charles has when it comes to following. And a lot of times, those messages aren't even real. People exploit tragedy and run scams and try to make fake GoFundMes and whatever. But I don't really get triggered by those DMs just because it comes with having a lot of exposure. So I do find it odd that somebody with a platform of his size still gets triggered by DMs because you would think you would just become accustomed to it because it comes with the territory. And in the grand scheme of things, like a DM bothers me less and less and less because I look around at my life and I'm like, you really shouldn't be complaining about this. I don't know. Now, I'm still a bitch, but like, that video was weird.
Wants to say, you're an able-bodied, pretty privileged white person. And it's like, oh, you're self-snitching, James Charles. Like, this is the things that you value. Like, you're self-snitching. You're so scary. And to like weaponize that against somebody, it's like you're trying to kind of legitimize why you don't want to help this person, but you are not understanding that their class and like their social mobility is hindered. You, obviously, I'm not saying he comes from super wealth, I don't know, but like obviously it was like a flash in the pants type of luck to be on that level of influencing. Not to say that being an influencer isn't a job that, you know, it requires a lot of dedication and things, but James Charles, you've never known what like job insecurity is. You're lucky. You're so lucky. You should be counting your lucky stars every single day. But instead of like having that level of self-awareness, there is just this facetiousness and pretentiousness that is just so disgusting to see. Like it literally it's nauseating. So like going on even quickly with the whole James Charles situation, if you guys don't know, there is a budget airline in America and Latin America called Spirit Airlines. And I used to always cackle at the memes because my For You page, by the way, is so US dominated. Like, I just feel like, like I really am a US citizen, low key. But honestly, I used to always cackle at the memes. But if you guys like, honestly, I feel like sometimes it's really hard for us as Europeans, especially British babes, to conceptualize just how big the America is. Like, America is huge. America is huge. Like, just the state of Texas on its own. I cannot wait, by the way, for the new Yellowstone ripoff with Beth and Rip. I cannot wait to watch that. But yeah, like, just the state of Texas alone, it like would take you 24 hours to drive across the state. Like, it's like we cannot conceptualize how big America is. Like, that's the reason why I know people want to clown it, but like, there's a reason why so many Americans don't even apply for their passport, because leave and go where? Like, where are you going? Do you know what I mean? And then also, let's even think about the financial ramifications of international flights from America. Like, we are so lucky here in Europe. We really are lucky, because America is no joke. Like, flying out of America, that's going to cost you a heavy bag, you know? And so Spirit Airlines was an accessible budget option. And it really they were like very disruptive to the aviation industry in general in terms of pricing and things like that. So it's so sad. And just even the way in which it happened. So if you guys don't know, Spirit Airlines, I feel like the UK equivalent would be like Ryanair or EasyJet. Was basically it just went into administration, and people were turning up to work, finding out by email when they turned up to work, like no notice, no nothing. Oh, by the way, Spirit Airlines is donezo. Like, that in itself is so traumatizing. And I was watching a news article about this, and one of the Spirit Airlines employees was saying, when it comes to like aviation and when it comes to this sector, when you build yourself up, like, that rank is not transferable if you apply for a job in another airline. So I don't know like how true that is, but like, that is just so alarming. And of course, like, naturally, think about it, you could work your way up. Like, he's like, I've been here like 10 years. So like, yeah, you could work your way up, but doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to translate to another like company or a rival company. So that is so concerning. And 17,000 people, even just think about how cooked the job market is right now. Imagine 17,000 employees now just pushed into the job market all at one time. Like, it's disgraceful. Like, just using your brain, putting your thinking cap on. That is so traumatizing and such an awful situation, such a unique situation as well. It's not just like, oh, I lost my job, or maybe I saw the writing was on the wall. No, and that within itself is traumatizing enough. But a situation like this is just so uniquely terrifying. And for James Charles, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, it is 7 years on from Bye Sister, an iconic piece of cinematography. Honestly, what a time to be alive. For James Charles, I know the guy is young, but it's like, there is truly no, you're scary. You're so scary. His response to a Spirit Airline individual, like an employee who said, hey, look, I've just been laid off. This is really crazy. Like, any little thing that you could donate would really help. This heifer wants to come online and be like, you don't even follow. That's the bit that was frying me. You don't even follow. He said, I don't see follow back. Scheme. Like, who do you think you are? The level, like, just how narcissistic that is so insane to me. You copied and pasted this. It's like, James, you're self-snitching. And I said, like, he's really dangerous. Like, even the phrasing that he used, you're an able-bodied white, but that's not like,
that's not in the sense that,
like, I'm sorry, I'm never ever gonna take that nonsense, like this pseudo virtue signaling for you to try to justify your depravity, and for you to be like, oh, you're able-bodied, you're this, you're that. Oh my God, like, way to say what a depraved individual you are. Like, you are fundamentally privileged in so many different ways. It is absolutely, like, bro, even if you're just self-employed, that's a form of privilege. Even if you're making a pittance, it's a form of privilege that you don't have your overlords, like, telling you what to do. Like, that within itself, what a privilege it is to be able to make money on social media. I feel like that is just like, I always rattle on and on about that. I wish everybody would pick up a camera today. And I know it's not just that easy, but you never ever know where it could take you. Please, if you have the desire in your heart to start social media, please do, because the opportunities that you can get are unlike any other. And I just find it what a privilege it is. It's like the only benefit of, like, obviously all the scientific developments and things like that. But I feel like honestly that is like the best thing about being alive at this time, is that social media is a way in which you can make a big bag. Like, it's incorporated in so many business strategies. Like, it's just so important. Like, social media is not something that could ever be discounted. Influencers are not going anywhere, beloved. They're not going anywhere. So pick up your camera today. I always say that. But just the levels of, like, that's scary. That was so scary. There was just so many points in that where I took, and he seemed at first I thought, is this AI? Like, even I remember, like, I saw Jackie Ina's video and she said something very similar. Like, this is just concerning. This is so scary. Like, how do you, at your big age, like, how do you feel like that is ever like, from even a PR point of view, which makes me feel like, and I know this is so cynical because I truly do feel like he is this silly to do this. He is so silly Billy, because his demeanor anyway was like very much like, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never going to happen. Like, James, like, please calm down. But like, sometimes I feel like I'm just so cynical because nowadays I just feel like, is this a publicity stunt? Because, you know, for these people, like, any publicity is good publicity. You know, those type of people in general, forget even about influencers on the level of James Charles. You know, people in general, any, like, you know, you're that bee when you cause all this conversation. That's their mindset. But it's like, that's for Queen Bee, that's not for you. I mean, when Beyonce said, you know, you're that bee when you cause all this conversation, that's what she's saying when you're not going out of your ways to cause conversation. Something like this is just so desperate. And I know I've seen people like this in real life where it's like, anyone talking about them, they cannot differentiate between positive and negative. Like, not to say that you should, like, be so attached to people's positive opinions of you, but like, to go out of your way to solicit negative opinions and to rage bait people, I find it to be the most disgusting social media strategy. It really annoys me, and I always disengage because I just think it's so pathetic and so transparent. It's like, I can see what you're doing, but to me, I just don't know. Like, that was super scary, guys. I'm just really not feeling that. Like, his demeanor, he genuinely seemed angry. So a cynical part of me thinks maybe this is just all a stunt. But I also feel like I just don't even like that frame of thinking, because it just absolves people of the horrors in which they say. I notice people who are doing this a lot with Trump. It's like, oh, you know, that's how he is. No, the things that he's saying are objectively harmful, objectively horrible. Stop it. Like, you know, I feel like this is something that rage baiters get away with. It's because they're so used to rage baiting. It's like that Jake Paul, Logan Paul, like very low brow, very low brow, very low ilk, like of that ilk. Like, it's just disgusting to me. And I don't know, I just find it so, ugh. And I hate the fact that we live in a world where that actually does work. And like, people buy into that. Like, it really, it's like, it's so obnoxious. It's like someone like yelling racial epithets. Like, you're so obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like, I just know you're so pathetic. So I don't know, it's just something in me where I'm like, maybe it's, again, like, just thinking cap on, like, just even delving into like spirituality and the law of detachment and all of these things, and just being present and in your body, just understanding, astaghfirullah, like, this person is trying to provoke me to anger, because your anger is very palpable. Your anger is very powerful. Any emotion, it can be, you know, generated. It's like what these loser incels, and especially with the whole Meg the Stallion thing, do. They want to like, they will always be in the comment section arguing you, because that's the only time a woman would even give them a second glance. And that's why I just wish I could collectively shake all of us, say, pay them dust. But, you know, even paying them dust, I feel like, would just make it even more dangerous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they will just up the ante till they get your attention. So I just feel like there's something like that going on in general in life. It's just, so disgusting to me. I don't know. I just feel like yuck. Like, you know, it's just, ugh. So yeah, it's very sad where we are collectively as a society. James, you're scary, James. James Charles. I mean, how do you even solve a problem like James Charles? The fact that he's still even got a platform is so mystifying to me. And again, as I say, it just goes to show that this, some people, like, this idea that you can cancel somebody, I know is a very ill-informed idea. And I think now we just live in a time where people just love a contrarian because they're so miserable in their lives. And again, they're so devoid of any hope, any sort of ambition or hope for the future, that they really have, this is the parasocial relationship. They really have such a parasocial relationship with people who are contrarians, who are just talking absolute garbage. We're at a stage now where people are just like, so what? You know, like, just, okay, yeah, and so what? Yeah, yeah. Like, they're saying what I want them to say. And like, the more controversial, the better. The more inflammatory, the better. And there's something just so desperate about that. I don't know, maybe it's just like my Londoner coming through, like, ugh, like, you're begging it. You're just such a beg. There's something so beggy and sneaky about like just purposely trying to inflame people to get a reaction. So yeah, I just feel like that's the reason why people are so drawn. Even figures like Trump, people are so drawn to that. And like, have you noticed it's like the way they try to always explain his latest rant on True Social or something? It's like, this guy is pathetic. Presidential used to be an adjective to describe like somebody who was magnanimous, somebody who was gracious, above the fray. And this is the president. Like, and the UK is not any better. Like, we just had our local elections and it's looking bleak. The amount of seats that Reform won. In my local area, we had a Reform candidate. My local liberal woke as hell area. When I say I was disgusted, When I catch you video, like, no, seriously, like, wow. It's, what a time to be alive. Like, what a time to be alive. You know, it's just very interesting, very, very interesting. And you know, another thing, again, this is why I say, going back to the whole situation about rage baiting and like people just like being so desensitized to it. This whole situation with Spirit Airlines, I did my research, and like, one of the reasons why, it's no coincidence that this administration is happening now and them going bust as a company is happening now because of Trump's fake silly war in Iran, and now jet fuel prices have skyrocketed up. And like, they can't afford that. You know what I mean? They were already operating on a budget model. So you've just locked so many people out of transport, like going from place to place, people visiting their families, going for treatment, like just like doing something for themselves. Traveling has now become a luxury. Like, I hate it here, guys. It's just so, when people try to act like, okay, politics is just this obscure thing that doesn't affect you. Look right now, look at the situation. 17,000 people lost their jobs for a pointless situation, a byproduct of a pointless war. It's so scary. It's so sad. And again, these things are just not obscure. You know what I mean? Like, this is not just some obscure thing. That's why I say voting matters. And being involved it matters. You know, paying attention to what's going on, it matters. It's just disgusting to me. So yeah, I really do feel like there is a concerted effort online. We are being collectively stripped of our empathy. It's just so unhuman. But again, living in this society, capitalism is not human. Like, the structures in which we're living in is just so not human. This nuclear family and being isolated and women having no villages is the reason why the birth rate is like plummeting down. Because even if you have the money, do you have a village? There's so many things in life that are just so connected. If you like open your mind and really think about it, it's just so scary. Like, the way life is going, subhanAllah, like, in many ways we're like so many technological strides and scientific strides, and we're going forward, pushing forward. But like, in so many ways we're regressing. Like, it's just a regression you can see, like, especially post-COVID, people just have like that tiny amount left to give. It's like, so yeah, like, really just when you catch yourself saying something harsh, or when you catch yourself like just being very judgmental, being very low vibrate, like, think to yourself, even if there's modicums of truth, even if what you're saying is wholly true, this is something I struggle with too. This is advice to myself first and foremost. Like, I know I can be very judgmental. It's something I really hate about myself. And it's like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. Like, I do want to be better than that. I, you know, like, to me, even just like pain is pain. I used to always factor in like there's levels to it. And like, I used to use that in a way of like, I refuse to feel sorry for myself and like, you know, pick yourself up by the bootstrap. You have so much going for you, you know. Then like, just, I would have like such little patience for people. And it's like, that's just no way to live. That's just no way to think. That's no way to be. It's like, and life will humble you really quickly. Like, pain is pain regardless, you know? Of course, it is great to shift your mindset and like shift your thinking and have that frame of mind, but someone's in pain, someone needs a helping hand, they need a helping hand. It doesn't matter if they come from a life of privilege. Of course, it is important to factor in that privilege, but like, if they're not there, they're not there. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that you don't give a helping hand. Does that make sense, guys? I don't know. Not to get too preachy anyway, but yeah, guys, I love you so much. I hope you guys enjoy this video essay. Like I said, I try not to script these things because I just want it to be off. I'm like, it's the ADHD, but like off the top of the dome, I try to make these videos as organic and as free-flowing as possible, because those are like my favorite type of video essays anyway. Like, I just love it when someone's just like talking off the dome. But yeah, let me know, guys, if you think maybe it would be better being scripted. Let me know what kind of topics you guys would like to see, and I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in another one. Mwah!